Up next, we have the Paddletek TKO-CX and ALW-Cs. Stats are on the screen, and these are not new paddles. So they came out a little under a year ago, but I still think they are something special, and I feel like they have a unique feel to them. All of these are Gen 1 builds, which has pros and cons, but one of the main pros is that there's just less to kind of go wrong, so the paddle should last a long time. Now they each have a 14.3 millimeter version and a 12.7 millimeter version. They offer slight variations within the paddle, and they actually offer you some input on the stock weight when you purchase it as well, which is pretty cool. So starting with the TKO-CX, which is essentially the long handle version of the TKO-C. This has a crisp feel off the face, plenty of power and top tier pop. I found myself drawn to the 14.3 millimeter version of this paddle. I think it's probably because it plays the most similarly to a lot of paddles that I've been playing with. This version is still poppy, but it has a bit better control and a bit better sweet spot, which was easier for me to adjust to than the 12.7 millimeter. And the reality is the biggest drawback of these paddles is the smaller sweet spot, especially in stock form. It's just not going to give the same size sweet spot in a Gen 1 build, and I think for that reason, again, I was drawn to the slightly better sweet spot and forgiveness of the 14.3 millimeter. However, depending which version you go with, and if you choose the TKO-CX or the TKO-C, there is some room potentially to add a little weight and help with that sweet spot. And if sweet spot is one of your bigger factors in your paddle decision, then you can also consider the Paddletek ALW-C, which is similar to the TKO in a lot of ways. It is incredibly poppy, and it's a unique, fun, powerful paddle to play with. The more standard shape gives you a slightly better sweet spot, and the design as a whole comes in at an incredibly low swing weight. I was drawn to the 12.7 millimeter ALW-C, I think mainly because it just feels like such a quick and unique feeling paddle, and it hits super hard. And that super low swing weight allows you to add a ton of weight if you like in order to really customize the paddle how you want. So if I were in the market for one of these and I was deciding between the many different options, I would personally lean the 12.7 millimeter if you're a more aggressive player and don't rely as much on your soft game, and go 14.3 millimeters if you are looking for what is still a very poppy, powerful paddle, but you don't want to sacrifice quite as much of that stability and sweet spot. Now between the two shapes, I think if you prefer an elongated shape or a heavier paddle and are okay with a smaller sweet spot, I would go TKO. And if you prefer a standard shape and you like a light paddle or want a ton of room to customize or need to keep a little more of that sweet spot, then the ALW-C is for you.